Hey guys, how's it going? Let's talk about dog fights and how to break them up. And I just woke up, so deal with all this. So I have a large number of dogs. I breed Anatolian Shepherd dogs, and I have Cane Corsos that I am in the journey of starting into breeding. So I have a lot of dogs, okay? I have my Cane Corsos are in the house. My Anatolian Shepherd dogs are livestock guardian dogs, so they work outside. Where was I going with this? I'm being inundated by pups here. Anyway, dog fights, I use that term really loosely, are inevitable. Just like in humans, if you're living with somebody else, you are bound to have disagreements about things. Dogs are no different. Difference being, when you have big dogs like I have, things can look big and scary because the dogs are big and scary. With the Anatolian, a lot of times a conversation, a discussion can look like a fight when they're just conversing and having a disagreement, an argument. And sometimes it is not best practice to jump in and be the mediator and think that you need to stop everything, because sometimes disagreements have to happen. Sometimes there's a hierarchy in the world, pack mentality, pack life that has to happen. And sometimes it can be hard to watch. And there's a fine line in knowing what you need to stop and what you need to let just happen. But for these intents and purposes, let's talk about when you need to break it up. What do you do? Okay, so I like to try to set myself up for success as much as possible. If I have a new dog that I'm bringing in, I am going to have that dog on a long line, long leash, so that if something happens, I can quickly snag that lead. Our new girl here, there she is. She has a problem with Jackson, the dog that she's sniffing right now. You can tell he's like, I don't know about this. And she's like, that's right, boy. That's right, you better know. And then usually my Cane Corsos will come in and be like, that's enough, you two. Yeah. So when I see that type of behavior happening, that hard stare, let's see if we can get it. When I see something is about to happen, he's insecure, he's uncomfortable. Yaban, leave it. We are not, ma'am, we're not gonna do it. No, ma'am. With her, I feel very safe and secure stepping in between the two of them and telling her we're not doing that. Honestly, because she's tiny. She has the strongest bite force in the canine world as an Anatolian, but she's 60 pounds. Sweetheart, I'm 60 pounds in one of my thighs. That's just loud. That's loud, Cane Corsos back there. But with her, ma'am, and she respects me enough to like, okay, we better listen to her. But in that type of a situation in here, I'm in a house, it's a very small space. She's a very small dog. I have zero problem stepping in between at this point of we're just starting. To tell her that's enough, we're gonna stop your mess. But let's talk about what happens if it's a large Anatolian, any large dog. Some of my males out there are pushing 160 to 180 pounds. I'm not stopping that. I'm not getting in the middle of that. So what do you do? Obviously, I try to set myself up for success. I'm not putting two dogs together that I know are going to have an issue. I don't play that game. I try to avoid injury as much as possible. But still, sometimes things happen. So what do you do? So long lines on each dog when you're starting into things is a great way. You can grab them to separate them. But let's say you have normal life and all of a sudden out of nowhere somebody decides that they're going to get a little squirrely and something happens that you need to step in and break it up. The worst thing you can do is try to reach in between and grab collars. The worst thing that you can do. That's how you get bit. That's a very dangerous situation. So for some dogs, water works. If you have a hose, crank that water on and just start spraying. That oftentimes will be enough to kind of shock them into, whoa, what is happening here? You can try that. Another thing that you can, or even like a bucket of water, sometimes just dumping the bucket of water on them is enough to like, wake up, dude, you're acting a fool. You can grab tails. So say you have two dogs going at it, especially if you have two people, which is great. You can each grab a tail and just yank backwards, literally separate them. Or you can literally pick up the back legs of each dog. You have to have two people for this, obviously. And like wheelbarrow it. And because a dog can't fight very well on their front legs, so not only does that stop the motion right away, but a lot of times can shock them into, holy hell, things just got a little dicey there. And then the biggest thing is, don't let go. Don't just have them separated and then, okay, phew, that was a close one, because they're not going to stop. They're going to re-engage again because hormones are surging through the body. Adrenaline is pumping. Hormones are flowing. And the only thing they're seeing is red and like, I need to continue to engage. So even after you've separated them, if you just let go, they're going to go right back in it again, because that's just dog mentality. Pack hierarchy of it's not over till I say it's over by the dominant. So separate them and then keep them separated for days, I'm talking, because it takes that long for the hormones to actually settle down, everything to come back to nice and chill. Do not put them back together again. They need time to decompress, de-escalate, let the hormones settle down, let the adrenaline leave the body. This stuff takes time. And some dogs, then, I hate to say it, they just don't do well together. It's never going to be a calm and chill thing. I know with the Anatolians specifically, they hold grudges and they have really long memories. So I have absolutely had dogs that once they've had a disagreement or an argument, they're never okay with going back together again. They just like, I remember you want to go, and it's just how it is. Unfortunately, sometimes that happens, just like in people. There's certain people we just don't like, and that will never change. And it's like that with dogs too. So you can't expect every dog to get along with every dog. That's unreasonable, and it's just not how it is. Also, don't rely on just what you think is really good training to stop a fight. A lot of people think, well, my dog has great recall and they listen to me. So if they're in the middle of a fight, all I have to do is yodel-loo, and they're just going to stop. And listen, Snow White, it doesn't always work that way, because your dog, when they're in like a fight thing, they're not going to be like, oh, hold on, she's calling me. I'll check back with you in a little bit. Like, they don't work that way. They're just, sometimes they literally don't hear you, because every other part of the brain is shut off except for the part of the brain that's saying, let's go smoke them. So it's not bad training on your part if they don't listen and just run back to you, because they're not listening to you at that point. They're going to do whatever they feel that they need to do to take care of the situation. So yeah, just do not reach your hand in a collar. I've been bit before by my dogs, and it's been always my fault. 2 times over the 10 years of having livestock guardian dogs have I been bit. Both times were in the hand, in the soft, meaty part, which sucks. And both times were because I was dumb, and just your first instinct is to reach in and grab a collar. They're not biting at you. They're not trying to get you. They're trying, at that point, they're just at each other, and your hand just happens to get in the way. It's just kind of a collateral damage at that point. So yeah, don't do that. That's a bad situation. Very, very dangerous. So yeah, that's how to diffuse fights. Try to avoid them if you can, and do the best you can. And that's it. Let's hope for nice, calm, chill dogs. Calm energy. Yeah.